You ready?
I want my son to have the best education possible. The way I would describe Dalton is an Ivy League institution in a brownstone. The opportunities for him there seem limitless. I'm from a poor family, from the inner city, and I went to Stanford. Although he's not technically from an upper class, Idris is very privileged and bright. His father is a doctor. His mother is an attorney. You know, I have high expectations for myself. And we have a lot of expectations for our son.
Think more, get really in, invest yourself in this image, I think.
Yeah, and beyond the I think thing, speaking about the subjectivity of the mind and how each mind can only perceive things within.
All right.
13 years ago, we enrolled our 5-year-old son, Idris, at one of the most rigorous college prep schools in the country.
You like that, eh? You like filming.
We were embarking on this journey, and having the camera around became a tool for us to process our journey. I am the child of immigrants from Haiti and Panama, parents who fought very hard to provide for me.
How many miles do we have to walk?
Going to school.
But how?
I struggled to fit in socially, racially, economically, and I was determined to do well in school. It opened doors for me. But I still knew very little about the environment of the school my son was about to enter in kindergarten.
Everybody in Dalton, they keep asking me. They keep saying, are you rich? Are you poor? Are you rich? Are you poor?
Hi, this is Libby Hickson from the Dalton School. Idris is fine. He got into a little brouhaha. He elbowed Sam, kind of shoved him out of the way after school yesterday. We can't have him shoving and elbowing kids.
They think I hit Sam, but I didn't. And then they said I got 2 days of suspension for whatever they say I hit him. And then I got another day suspension because they think I'm lying.
Are you lying?
No.
In any environment that you're in, whether it's Dalton or other, or elsewhere, race always plays a part in how the students are perceived, and how we perceive as parents our role in that environment, how we interpret what the school says, how the school reacts to the kids and reacts to us as parents. It's always there as an undercurrent.
Well, I sometimes get made fun of at my basketball team because they said, "Oh, you talk like a white boy."
Come on, speak a little bit more. Right now, how do you identify yourself?
A man.
A man, okay.
And black. That I want to get treated different for the rest of my life.
Where'd you hear that from?
Daddy.
And how does that make you feel when you hear that?
I already knew that. Well, Big Mama told me that too. She and he want me to be ready for
what's coming ahead. And not to be surprised like they were.
I just don't want Idris to be hurt. I don't want for his self-esteem to suffer. And, you know, how much can I, as a parent, protect him from that?
The grammar test. The results were a little disappointing. I haven't yet figured out how to grade it.
What class did you fail?
History.
Okay. That's what we talk about every day. You probably hear more history at the dinner table when we sit at the dinner table than anybody in your class.
The earlier you get the draft done, the more times you have to go over it and make it better. Did you do the flashcards for math yet?
I spent all Sunday working.
All Sunday working is not enough. A whole grade is based on this freaking paper.
From that, it's Tuesday, and
Yes,
it's too
but
old.
you didn't tell me you had to do the rough draft to go over it. There's certain things that Idris just can't feel he can get away with. There's certain attitude that he has to have in order to be successful in life, compounded by the fact of being African American. It's just, it's a work in progress.
Every kid here is driven. I don't know if it's possible to sort of walk through the doors and get through the day without being driven. In terms of whether these stakes are higher for African American boys, absolutely. But perhaps especially as a black male teacher, the standards are the standards. And these standards that I would hold any black boy, black girl, whomever to, are these standards, period.
Dalton is a place that lives up to its standards, I would say, in terms of our academics, but the students, a lot of them live in this bubble.
Who were Polish, people who were Irish, were definitely seen as less white.
For a while, I could count the amount of black kids that Dalton had on my fingers. So I've dealt with a bad racial mix for 13 years, and like during the course of my life, it's created a divide between my school life and then my race. I've known a lot of black people outside of school. They have a totally different way of living, totally different way of speaking, and totally different way of going about their daily lives. I really do feel a sense of two-ness, I guess.
I said no.
I said,
You're a young black man, brother. That's
but I guess I've adapted.
A gray tinge glowed through the whiteness, and Kimbrough had failed to detect it. But I had a feeling that something had gone wrong, something far more important than the paint. Why is our narrator having such discomfort mixing black into white in order to make white? Or why are we, in this room right now, finding discomfort imagining white as somehow involving blackness?
While reading, I felt that the white paint stands for like the white race, and then in order for like the white race to become like successful, they need those black drops, those black people. Like Mr. Norton needed the black people. Like without the black people, wouldn't have gone to where he was. So I feel like
Did the black people need Mr. Norton?
Well, yes, it goes both ways.
What my son encountered growing up is something he's going to encounter for the rest of his life. He'll be prepared for discrimination. He'll be able to compete against privilege.
So you kind of hold the knife.
I think he's prepared to go out and make something of himself. And I think he'll be able to do that without us looking over his shoulder.